Imagine checking into a hotel, ready for a peaceful night's sleep, only to discover you're alone. And I don't mean noisy neighbors. I'm talking about the kind of guests that never leave, ghosts. Today, we're uncovering 10 of America's most haunted hotels, where dark secrets linger in the walls, and the echoes of the past are far from silent. Are you prepared for what's coming next? Well, you've made it this far. Let's get started. Story 1. The Stanley Hotel, Room 217. Our first stop is the legendary Stanley Hotel, the real-life inspiration for Stephen King's. But the hauntings here are no fiction. Room 217 holds a particularly eerie history. In 1911, a housekeeper, Elizabeth Wilson, was caught in a gas explosion. She survived but never truly left. Guests report their luggage unpacking itself, lights flickering, and the unmistakable scent of lilac, Wilson's favorite perfume, filling the air. But she's choosy with her hauntings. Unmarried couples often find a cold, invisible presence keeping them apart in bed. Would you dare to spend a night here? Story 2. The Crescent Hotel, The Girl in the Foyer. At the Crescent Hotel, once a cancer hospital with a dubious past, the spirits remain. But one stands out, a young girl often seen in the foyer. The story goes she fell from an upper floor, her life ending in tragedy. Visitors claim to hear the distant thud of her fall, while others have seen her darting through the lobby, giggling before vanishing into thin air. Though I guess a ghostly welcome at check-in isn't quite what you'd expect. Story 3. The Driscoll Hotel, Room 525. In Austin's historic Driscoll Hotel, Room 525 holds a hauntingly sad mystery. Two brides 20 years apart took their own lives on their honeymoons here. Guests report feeling an overwhelming sense of grief, mirrors fogging up on their own, and inexplicable cold drafts sweeping through the room. The most unsettling detail? The faint smell of roses often fills the air just before an encounter with the paranormal. Is it a sign of their eternal sorrow, or something worse? Story 4. The Queen Mary, the first-class pool. Once a luxury liner, the Queen Mary now rests as one of the most haunted hotels in the country. One of its eeriest spots? The first-class swimming pool, where a young girl named Jackie tragically drowned. Visitors claim to hear her playful laughter echoing through the pool room, see her wet footprints leading to nowhere, and some even feel an icy hand tugging at their ankles. Next time you're near a pool, you might want to keep a closer eye on what's beneath the surface. Story 5. The Mizpah Hotel, The Lady in Red. The Mizpah Hotel is home to a spirit who still walks the halls after her untimely murder by a jealous lover. Those who stay in room 504 often hear the distinct clicking of high heels, feel a cold hand graze their shoulder, and sometimes even wake up to find lipstick stains on their pillow. She may be a ghost, but she certainly knows how to make an impression. Story 6. The Omni Parker House, Charles Dickens' Spirit. Boston's Omni Parker House is no stranger to hauntings, but perhaps its most famous ghost is none other than Charles Dickens. During his American tour, Dickens stayed in the hotel, and ever since, strange occurrences have been reported in his namesake suite. Staff often hear pages turning in an empty room late at night, and some guests claim to have seen a man resembling Dickens pacing, muttering lines from his unfinished works. Perhaps it's just a writer's eternal struggle, even in the afterlife. Story 7. The Biltmore Hotel, The Mobster Ghost, Florida. In the roaring 1920s, Miami's Biltmore Hotel was a playground for the rich and infamous. The ghost of a mobster, shot dead in a gambling dispute, now haunts the 13th floor. Guests have spotted his shadow flickering in the hallways, and the elevator often stops on the 13th floor, despite no one pressing the button. I suppose mobsters don't need reservations to make an appearance. Story 8. The Lafayette Hotel, The Weeping Woman. In New Orleans, the Lafayette Hotel has a somber story. The ghost of a grieving woman who lost her husband has been spotted in room 209. Guests frequently hear her soft sobbing late into the night, and sometimes wake to find a wet handprint on the bathroom mirror. What's more unsettling, the handprint always appears to be fresh, like someone who's just come out of the water. Story 9. Hotel Monte Vista, The Phantom Bellboy. At the Hotel Monte Vista, guests have reported an unusual encounter. The Phantom Bellboy. He knocks at doors, but when the guest opens them, no one is there. Moments later, footsteps can be heard retreating down the hallway, Talk about 5-star service, even from the afterlife. Story 10. The Bourbon Orleans Hotel, The Dancing Girl. Our final stop is the Bourbon Orleans Hotel. In the ballroom, guests have seen a young girl in a white gown twirling gracefully under the grand chandelier. She was a victim of yellow fever, and her ghost now waltzes with unseen partners. Late at night, visitors have heard faint ballroom music, and sometimes catch a fleeting glimpse of her in the corner of their eye. Would you dare join her dance? So which of these haunted hotels would you brave for a night? If you're intrigued by the paranormal, there's plenty more where that came from. But before you book your stay, don't miss our next video on it might just save you from a financial nightmare. Click on the end screen to learn more. Ghostly encounters, real stories from America's most haunted hotels. Write a short story of 10 ghosts for YouTube video above this title.